Getting in some intense music right off the bat. Alright, looks like we're visually here. Do we audibly sound here? We do indeed. Alright. I don't know if it's just my microphone is loud or if it's the game audio is low, but hello people of the internet. It is I, Soulrack Dragon, here back with more Fate Stay Night Remaster, where today, the first real fight of this Holy Grail War has begun, as the Academy has been attacked from within, I guess is the best way to put it, by Shinji and Ryder. Shiro was summoned, essentially. Shinji called Shiro, asking him to come to school to talk, and Shiro came because, you know, Shiro doesn't have a common sense bone in his body without telling Saber or Rin. So, yeah. He came here alone, and Shinji sprung the ambush on him. And now Shiro is down the hall from Shinji, charging him down. We have 3 shadows that have emerged. Likely means Sakura is involved in this as well, but, yeah, that is pretty much the broad summary of what's going on. So the question now is, what choice do we make here? So Shiro's circuits are activated. Rin did activate them properly, so he has that going for him. Shiro is down the hall from Shinji, like I said, and there are 3 shadowy pillars sort of directly in front of him. So the question now is, what does Shiro do? Does Shiro not stop, or does he... Okay, so don't need to stop. That's implying that Shiro thinks he can outrun the pillars, perhaps? The shadows, maybe, I guess. Technically, that could be what he's thinking about doing. The other option here is can't prevent it on my own. I don't exactly know what that implies. Like, I can't prevent it on my own. I don't know how that's gonna do anything, so that's just a statement. Does that mean he's just gonna stand there and not move? That's not Shiro Emiya. Shiro Emiya is a headstrong idiot. He's not gonna stop. No, I can't stop. Not now. No matter how strong it may be, if it doesn't hit me, it won't matter. You know, close does only count in horseshoes and hand grenades, after all. The 3 blades come at me like a blast of wind. You're the idiot, Shinji. This attack is nothing compared to Saber's. I pass through the gaps between the 3 overlapping shadows. That's actually another good way to look at it, you know? Saber has been training Shiro, so Shiro probably does have a little bit more, defensive capabilities. I don't feel any danger from the shadows. There's no problem then. Oh, that could also be it. He doesn't feel any danger because Sakura just sent those to scare him because she doesn't want to hurt Shiro. That could be it. Saber taught me that I shouldn't hesitate as long as I don't sense that the attack will be fatal. I close in on him. He has no shadows protecting him. Just a few more steps, maybe 3 more meters, and I can... Stop. Don't come near me. Shinji turns and runs. The moment I reach out to grab his back, I feel a chill run through my entire body and I quickly jerk my arm back. Something cuts through the air. A black blade slices through the space I'd been occupying just an instant before. I stop. I don't know where she came from, but standing in front of me now, I see the woman dressed in an ominous black so dark, even the most venomous shade of crimson seems pale in comparison. Venomous shade of crimson. That's a weird statement. Or a weird color description. My mind goes blank with fear. I'm gonna die. I don't want to think about it, but the image of my own brutal death fills my head. I sense it. I sense only death. The shadows earlier were nothing like this. Good, Ryder. Don't hold back. You can do whatever you want with him. Ryder's form blurs. I need to... Okay, interesting. Yeah, this will not be a battle. Shiro is... So, Shiro does know, at this point, that, it's not... He can't fight a servant. That it's, more of a matter of just try and stay alive. I'll defeat it before I get defeated. That is pure idiocy. And that means it's probably a bad end, because pure stupid idiocy decisions tend to lead to bad ends. And from what I remember of the Unlimited Blade Works version of this fight, is that Shiro does eventually summon Saber, and he otherwise just runs. So I'm gonna say I'll defeat it before I get defeated is probably gonna be a bad end, and I want to see the bad ends. So I have no chance of winning against a servant. If I fight, I'm dead. The only thing I can do is beat Shinji to force Ryder to retreat. Okay, that's not a terrible plan, honestly. I kick off the hallway floor, refusing to let Ryder intimidate me. 6 more meters to Shinji. If I can just slip by Ryder, I can get to Shinji. The servant in black blocks my way. I focus my concentration and brace to meet her every strike. I aim to the left. Her left fist twitches the slightest bit, letting me avoid the first blow. I try slipping through the opening between Ryder and the wall so I can charge at Shinji. Ryder vanishes. My plan goes up in smoke. The path is wide open before me and Ryder is nowhere to be seen. This is bad. I have to stop. I screwed up. Saber kept warning me about this, but I just didn't get it. I shouldn't go forward. I shouldn't confront Ryder. Even if it's just a single blow, I shouldn't have even thought of dodging it. I feel something behind me. Ryder hangs from the ceiling behind me. She slices through the back of my neck in a smooth crescent arc. Air hisses from my neck. Ryder's skills are truly beautiful. The move was so graceful, like caressing a daffodil. A touch from her finger so delicate it would not make a single ripple in the still water plucks my life from me. Too easy. He's like a bug on display, the way you skewered him from behind. I held back. He will survive, with treatment. Who put you in charge? Nobody told you to go easy on him. Sheesh, you're just a servant. It's not your place to tell your master what you think. Blood flows from the wound. No matter how I try, I can't breathe. My throat just rattles and wheezes. Then you have no intention of saving this young man? Nope. Besides, I don't know any healing maidcraft. Guy's as good as dead. Just put him out of his misery, Ryder. Understood. My battlefield will not have him. Then, he will quench my thirst himself. I hear the heavy sound of chains approaching. Something lifts me up. She gazes toward my bloody neck. The dark servant slowly parts her lips and sinks her teeth into my neck as if kissing it. My blood. She's sucking my blood. Ryder's drinking all the blood I have left, down to the very last drop. I begin to lose consciousness. Blood-sucking is almost like euthanasia. I feel no pain, as if slowly dissolving in the spider's venom. Dead end. You know, I'm pretty sure you don't need to vocalize command spells, so why not mentally call for Saber? You would have healed. Yep, let's see the advice of the dojo. Good evening, this is Tiger Dojo, your friendly segment chock full of hints for those who love dying all the time. Hey, you know, dying can be fun in video games. I'm Ilya, the Disciple. We're almost halfway through the main storyline. Big Sis here is sure glad to see Shiro finally starting to get serious about fighting. Really, we are almost halfway through the main story. Through the fate route. Huh. This is a long route. What I have to say, this was a pretty boneheaded choice. Or even listening to Saber's advice. Of course not. Saber and Ren do too much explaining. It's such a drag. I always skip the training scenes. Ilya. You idiot. Ouch, I'm sorry. I was just fibbing a little. Sheesh. Listen, unless things get really bad, you need to avoid fighting servants head-on. Hang in there and opportunities will present themselves. Be patient for now and let your opponent do as they wish. Ma'am, yes, ma'am. By the way, Mentor, I see that you gave these stamps out to whenever we visit this dojo. What is that about? Hey, Viper, welcome to the stream. Happy things, happy things. It's Tiger Semp. Collecting them gives you a sense of satisfaction, and it's also a good way to see how much progress you've made. And if you collect them all, the game screen will be completely filled with paws. I imagine there's more to it. What a perfect world. I can't be blamed if you go out of your way to collect them. I think she's technically wearing bloomers, is what they're called. There was an explanation during the first scene. I'll see you at the next Tiger Dojo. We'll be waiting. Restart for the most recent decision point. I mean, this Ilya is the Fate Route Ilya, which means she is older than Shiro. So, you know, I think it's fine. Okay, so trying to defeat Shinji. I'll defeat it before I get defeated. That is a classic Shiro Emiya line, first off. Actually, that's a classic Fate line. Like, Archer class is really made up of archers and people die when they are killed. I'll defeat it before I get defeated. But, yeah. So we do not want to try and fight. We want to try and run. I retreat immediately. This isn't a good time to fight. I need to regroup and make Shinji stop the bounded field. Yet you still get attacked. I'm not sure what happened, but I retreat desperately. Fear makes everything in front of me appear completely white. I don't even know what I'm so terrified of. Without thinking, I threw an arm out to cover my neck. Ugh. Something sharp buries itself in my arm. The dull sound of scraping bone tells me the next attack will end me. Shiro is 17, I want to say, in this. He's like 17, 18? Give me just a moment here and I can give you an exact idea here. So, Ilya's Veil von Einsborn. In Fate Stay Night, Ilya is 18. Yes, Ilya is exactly 18 years old and Shiro is 17 in the Fate Stay Night visual novels. I run. I can't afford to look back. I just cover my vital spots with my hands as best I can in my frantic retreat. Yeah, see, if memory serves, the reason why she looks the way she is because the Einsborns continuously modified her body so that she is essentially the Einsborn family purposely made it so that she cannot grow older just to make her super dense with magic circuits so that she could sustain Berserker in the Holy Grail War. So yeah, she was purposefully made to not be able to grow up. Creak. The sharp edges slowly saws through my body with a horrible, jarring sound. And this is not a bad ending right now, by the way. You know, Shiro's just here getting mutilated by Ryder, and it's not a bad ending or anything. A spray of my own blood blots out my vision. Meanwhile, Ryder is rushing toward me so quickly that I can't even see her. With each cut, I hear sounds I can't even recognize coming from my own mouth. But I continue my desperate retreat, somehow surviving the dozens of fatal blows striking me. Well, I mean, they are the Einsborn family. You know her mother, Erie's Veil. Yeah, let me see, how can I tell you this here? let me get it up so that I can give you an exact figure. So, Ares Vale, where is it? Ares Vale von Einsburn. Yeah, she doesn't technically have an age listed, though it's commonly believed that, she technically died younger than Ilya, and Ilya was 8 when she died. So, yeah. Just chew on that for a bit, Viper. I don't know what I'm doing. Ryder's dagger is buried in my arm. My clothes are tattered and torn, and my flesh is brutally shredded. But I'm still able to shield myself with my own body, blocking the attacks aimed at my neck and head. This isn't a conscious thing at all anymore. Pure instinct drives my reactions as I desperately try to survive Ryder's attacks. My breathing is labored. I'm only running away, rushed along by the imminent death looming over me. Ilya, yes. She is 18 years old mentally, but I think they stunted her aging at like 12. So she's somewhat close to being like Seba. Eventually, whatever strength I have left will fade, and she'll catch up to me. Then I'm dead. That's what Saber had been trying to tell me. Don't fight against a servant. Fight wouldn't even be the right word for it. She told me again and again, so why the hell am I now in this position? All I want to do is catch Shinji as fast as possible and make him shut off his goddamn bounded field. So what the hell am I doing? What are you doing, Ryder? That's enough. Just done this already. He can't do anything anyway. Shinji is elated, his voice triumphant. Ryder nods and swings her dagger up in a wide arc. She's striking at my head. I can't dodge. All I can really do is try to prevent her from hitting anything vital. The dagger stabs into my shoulder, right below the collarbone. Ooh. That's a painful spot. I hear a high-pitched metallic sound, then the click of a tongue. What? The end of Ryder's dagger is starting to disintegrate. This is a surprise. I cannot kill you with my blade. Ryder stops. At that instant, I frantically try to come up with a way to leverage the sudden opportunity. Then, gravity shall kill you. Something strikes me with all the force of a sledgehammer, and I go flying out the window. Oof. Can't stab him to death, so I'm just gonna kick you out a window and let you fall to death. I mean, that is one way to do it. I'd only been a kick to the stomach, but I go flying, shattering the window. Ryder, you could have just kicked his head off at that point. Let's be honest here, Ryder. You have monstrous strength. If your kick to the stomach can send somebody flying out a window, a kick to the head will easily just pop their head like a balloon. That would probably be a mercy, Ryder. Stop being sadistic. You're not this mean. We're on the 3rd floor. Left alone, I'll die of blood loss anyway, so a fall from this height will be enough to finish me off. I mean, an ordinary human would be dead on the spot from a blow strong enough to send them flying like this anyway. I reach out. Maybe I'm not falling yet, or maybe I'm just hallucinating right before I die. Hey, J6, welcome to the stream, where I teach Viper the fact that Ilya is 18. How be things? But my body is still suspended in midair. How? I reach out, desperately grasping for something. Anything. The sky is crimson. The school's pulsating like a creature's stomach. And am I just going to die? Let something like this happen. Let let this happen? Am I gonna let myself die without saving so much as a single person? I can't. I grit my teeth furiously. I can't win. This is not even a battle. I knew that going in, but I'm still screwed it up. There's no more pain. All I feel is my sheer rage making my insides unravel. I thought I could do it alone. This is what I get for saying I won't let Saber fight. He's finally realizing the consequences of his actions! Congratulations, Shiro Emiya, as you just got punted out the window by a female servant, because let's remember here. Shiro Emiya is of the staunch belief that a girl can't fight. You know, staunch, firm believer in that. And even when he got his ass kicked by Saber numerous times in sparring, he thought she never was a knight. She must have been a soft, normal girl before she became summoned as this Saber. No. He was firm in that belief, and even when told wrong, you know, he still doesn't think she should fight. Maybe it finally took a woman literally beating the shit out of him to get it through his skull. I was an idiot. I can't save anyone on my own. If I really wanted to end this war, there was one thing I should have done right from the start. He asked me whether I was really not going to fight, not kill, and not let anyone kill. If I realized my mistake, I should first decide what to fix, then decide who to punish. Yes, you're right, Viper, but Shiro Emiya is a special brand of stupid. And then, I see it. There on my arm, still reaching up as if to touch the heavens, my command spells, waiting for an order. I need to make a save point here. I forgot to make a save point after this, but it was just a bad end, so I think it's fine. So we'll make a save point here. So we have 3 choices here. So, let's check the flowchart, make sure I'm not missing anything. This has an affection, so one of these things will make Saber happier. You know, one of these things will make Saber happier. I'm not sure which will make Saber happier. Summoning her or needing her to save me. Maybe depending on which one of these two we pick will determine, you know, what exactly Shiro says to make her more affectionate. This is a straight up dead end here. You know, like, Shiro Emiya, you are literally falling to your death after getting the ass whooping of your life. If you cannot let go of your sexism as you are literally dying, then no, I want to see it. I want to see what Shiro justifies. How the hell Shiro justifies not wasting his command spells. No, I can't use a command spell here. I hesitate for a second. My command spells, especially for an untrained master like me, are too important. I can only use them 3 times. Doing the online grand challenge and a day 1 at 194th. Not bad, man. Not bad. Almost the instant I realized I can't just use a command spell so casually. Oh, no, that's good. That was good, you know. He comes to realization, oh man, I probably shouldn't just casually use these one-time use Omega items. I fall on my back. Slam into the ground after being kicked from the 3rd floor. Calling it fatal, well, it's likely fatal. I managed to avoid falling on my head, but I wouldn't be surprised if I just broke every bone in my body. Okay, Shiro, we know you feel pain. Why are you being so casual about literally just shattering every bone in your body? Why? Blood seeps from me. It's coming from my chest. My back seems fine. Looks like I survived the impact of the falls, so why... What is that thing? Sticking out of my chest as I lay looking up at the sky. My chest is opened up. It looks like several swords protrude from my chest, together forming a shape of a flower in full bloom. Okay, this is... Alright, this is unexpected. I mean... Okay, this is definitely not... I thought this only happened in Heaven's Feel because of, spoilers, Emiya's arm being transplanted. Why is it happening in Fate? Huh. I mean, I guess there was the point about Ryder's nail bouncing off of something inside Shiro. But this is unexpected. It's as if someone shoved a bomb in my chest and it went off the moment I hit the ground. I can't explain it. I don't understand what happened to my chest. So many blades stick out of me, like my entire ribcage burst through my body. Yes, Viper. Yes, it was. I watch blankly as my body slowly dissolves. Need to hurry to stop it. I can't move. The miracle that healed me from Berserker's attack doesn't seem to be working with so many swords piercing me. My thoughts begin to fall to pieces. Even if I were to try using a command spell, I don't even know what's happening anymore. I draw in one more huge breath. The air burns. Excuse me. That was a burp and a half. I cough up blood. My heart stops. Okay. Interesting. Hold it right there, Tiger. You ate the cake from floor I hid in the fridge, didn't you? It's your fault for leaving it there. Do you know what expiration date means, my disciple? Who cares? Just give me back my cake, you big tiger. Can't give it back what it's already digesting. Actually, Ilya, I wanted to mention those bright red pancakes topped with tons of raspberries look like a big pile of gore. It's in bad taste. Are you sure that was a cake from Floor? It is. Its official name is Rafflesia Umbrella. This new monstrous and deadly-looking product is a reference to the world's biggest flower, the Rafflesia. And to imitate the flower's putrid smell, it actually uses Rafflesia nectar. No wonder it smelled like rotting meat. Floor really must have run out of ideas. The sweet shop must be on its last leg if they're putting something like this out. Didn't you think the cake was good? It was bright red and looked so pretty. I think we need to do something about your aesthetic sense. Okay, enough about cakes already. Tiger Dojo and Q&A segment here to save players from irrational decisions they might make starts now. Ma'am, yes ma'am. I'm ready as ever. Good. Let's take a look at your death this time. Falling to your death. Even with his mysterious healing power, Shiro will die if he gets thrown from off the 3rd floor. To add to that, Ryder's round has kicked to the gut is enough to kill him too. He died really hard. Shiro could die at any moment, so anytime you see the option to use a command spell, choose that in a heartbeat. So there you have it. Go back to the previous choice and redo the scene. Summon Saber immediately so you can beat the crap out of that sexy fighter later. You know? Taiga, you're not wrong. She's not wrong, you know? Ryder, you know? Ryder's quite something. Okay, so, serious mode now. What choice do we go with here? I'll summon Saber, or I need Saber to save me. So, you think second, Viper. Need Saber to come save me. So that kind of... Again, I kind of feel like it's going to change what exactly... I already did 3J6, already did 3. So I feel like, depending on which choice we pick, will determine what words exactly Shiro uses to call upon Saber. If he cries out pleading for her to save him... Honestly, I mean, while that would be the most drastic shift of his perspective, I feel like Shiro might be a little bit too stubborn for that. And it kind of comes off as, you know, not that confident. I feel like he would cry out, Saber, by my command spell, come save me. I don't know. I feel like that might be the bad... I mean... I feel it could very well be the choice that gives the affection. It could. So, begging... So... All tough people have a breaking point. That is true. That is true. But we're trying to get in Saber's good graces. And I feel like if Shiro were to do a complete 180 so quickly... Or rather, if he pleads for her to save him, she might lose respect. She might. I mean, I am going to be going back through the Fate route late. Like, once I get an ending, I'm going to be going back choice by choice just to see all the dialogue changes, just to see if there is any, trying to think of the word here, to see if there is any alternate paths that I miss, like different things. But I do think that just declaring for Saber to come rescue him, or just calling for Saber, might be the better of the two options here. Please come. I remember those words like, okay, I kind of want to see what the other choice is right away, though. My life doesn't matter anymore. But to put a stop to this savage brutality... No. Come. Saber. Ibuki beats Saber. Depends on which Ibuki, I think. Also, Shiro, you shouldn't be telling Saber to come at school. Come on, man. You're a responsible young guy. I muster up all my strength and call for my blade. One of my command spells strokes disappears. At that very moment, the space around me begins to waver. Those 3 lines... I don't know if it's just my mind is in the gutter, but those 3 lines together... Come, Saber. I muster up all my strength and call for my blade. One of my command spells strokes disappears. Is that just me? Do I just have a dirty mind? So this is magic. Saber, clad in her silver armor, bursts through the ripples in space and time to appear before me. My back slams into the ground. Well, you're dead anyways. I stop breathing. The force of the impact jars every bone and organ in my body. Several ribs crack or probably break outright. And yet, my body is intact. My bloody arms are still attached. Saber runs to me. Forcing my numb limbs to move, I push to my feet, ensure that I'm alright. Oh yeah, when he doesn't call on Saber, you know, he just lays there and dies, but as soon as Saber shows up, oh man, yeah, fall out of a 3-story building after getting my ass whooped, yep, that's no problem, yep, gotta look strong, yep, can't look weak in front of a girl. There's no time to explain. You understand what's happening, right, Saber? Please wait, Shiro. I do understand, but first, your body must take care of Ryder. Only you can beat her. I cannot. Treating you is my first priority. You will not survive these wounds. No, there's something else that needs doing first. We need to beat Shinji and Ryder as quickly as possible. Nothing is more important. But if I do that, Saber's focused only on me. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't happy about that. But there's no time to argue. If Saber doesn't want to listen, I just need to use my second command spell. She must have understood my resolve. Saber reluctantly accepts my decision. Understood, Master. Your orders? Defeat Ryder. I'll handle Shinji. Yeah, you will. Saber does not hesitate. She nods and without another word, turns toward the school building like a whirlwind. I run up the stairs. Ryder and Shinji are on the 3rd floor. I can tell Shinji is still on the 3rd floor because of the way my command spells are reacting. The moment I set foot on the 3rd floor, sparks fly. Is that Ryder? Oh man, Shiro! Jeez, I thought you had something for Saber, but as soon as you step on the 3rd floor and see Ryder's sparks start flying, man, dude, you gotta, you do not have the harem protagonist EX skill yet, man. You gotta calm yourself. Just gotta calm down, man. Couldn't see, but Saber must have parried Ryder's attempts at a sneak attack from above. I will defeat Ryder. Please take care of Ryder's master. She doesn't need to tell me. Saber can't possibly lose to Ryder. She won't. I'm absolutely sure after what little I was able to learn of Ryder's abilities during my brief fight with her. Saber's abilities vastly exceed Ryder's. I'm leaving her up to you, but try not to go too far. It'll be over soon once I stop Shinji. I run right past Saber. The same instant, Ryder flings a dagger at me with murderous intent, but Saber rushes in to deflect the attack. I like how there's just the exclamation point. The same instant, Ryder flings a dagger at me with murderous intent, but Saber rushes in to deflect the attack! Like, why is there excitement with that statement? I run down the hallway. Ahead I see a bewildered Shinji. Guess I'll be at a disadvantage if I go at him empty-handed. I need a weapon. It should be long, like the mop leaning against the locker. Yeah, you know, he's just got magic that is killing everybody in school, but nothing like a trusty old mop to clean up his act. I pass magical energy through my body as I run. Maybe I'm not distracted, or maybe I just can't afford to think of anything else. I managed to strengthen the plastic mop as effortlessly as breathing. Yeah, no pipe, sorry J6. The shadows begin forming again. You know, I'm surprised Sakura didn't just murderize Shinji for seeming to kill Shiro there, you know? Because she's clearly nearby if she's forming these shadows. And we know that Sakura loves Shiro to an obsessive degree. Seeing Shiro Emiya get his ass handed to him, get his chest caved in as he's kicked out of the 3rd floor window, that doesn't garner a response? Come on. I'm badly injured, but I don't feel the least bit sluggish. My guess, he's not so injured anymore. More than that, I have a weapon now. That means I don't even need to dodge. I use the mop snap. I use the mop to smack aside each shadow as it flies toward me. I mean, only in Fate does that kind of sentence make sense, because just that's absurd. That's an absurd statement. Using a mop to smack aside shadows. The mop breaks, but I expected as much from something done so hastily. Besides, I don't need it anymore. I'm so close. I don't think many people could be kicked out of a window. You know, the sheer lower body strength required to kick a person outside of a window in modern times is quite impressive. I'm glad he made the noise so I didn't have to. I lash out with a furious punch. The impact jars my arm, which is still practically cut to ribbons, so painfully that I nearly pass out. I punch Shinji in the stomach and then grab him and shove him against the wall. You... Shinji tries to shove my hand away. Without missing a beat, I kick his grasping arm. How? Okay, Shiro, are you like a friggin' gymnast? He's trying to shove a hand away, so that presumes that Shiro's hand is at chest level, so Shinji is reaching at chest level, and yet Shiro is just probably feet away, just brings his leg up in like a straight 180 to kick. Is he a ballerina or something? I can't even control myself right now. You seem to be doing a damn good job of controlling yourself, Shiro. I slam the arm. Okay, what? How? So he kicks the arm into the wall and breaks it. So he's got one hand, presumably, he's got one hand on Shinji's chest. He's standing on one leg, with the other leg having done a sweeping kick into Shinji's coming arm and stomps it against the wall. That has got to be the most awkward fucking position in the world. I don't even hear Shinji's screams. This is bad. If I don't focus, it might be me who faints. I should hurry while I can still move. I grab Shinji's hair and smash him against the wall. Scream later. Release the bounded field, Shinji. I think Shiro's doing a good enough job here, Viper. The hell I will. Who are you to tell me? I grab Shinji by the throat with the arm I can still control. Blood pours from my arm. It seeps through my clothes and it drips onto Shinji's body, staining him. If you won't shut off the bounded field, then I just have to kill you. I don't care which it is, so pick one. Now. I squeeze. Must be all the magical energy coursing through my body. I could snap his neck like a twig. And thus, the dark route of Shiro Emiya begins. You're bluffing. You couldn't do something like that. But besides, I haven't killed anyone yet. I was just borrowing a little bit of life from everyone. Okay then. Bye, Shinji. I squeeze harder. There's no hesitation. Maybe a little sympathy. I feel bad that as a fellow mage, Shinji was never taught the rules of being a mage, and so didn't have any problem killing innocents. Wait, hold up. You beat me. I'll stop the bounded field, I promise. I loosen my grip around his throat. Damn, you're crazy strong. Hey, Ryder, stop your blood fort. Oh, greetings, Alice Avenger. Greetings, 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 and welcome to the stream. The shock fabric is not dark up, but it's normal Shiro, yes. I mean, Shiro Emiya is just messed up in the head. He's also a friggin' ballerina slash gymnast, as evident by the fact that he had one hand against Shinji's chest, was probably like a foot away, and brought his leg up in an excellent kick to kick Shinji's arm, slam it into the wall, and snap it like a twig. Truly an amazing feat of gymnast. I don't know, of gymnastics. That's the word. That's the word I was looking for. That is the word. This is a terrible writer. Yeah, Shinji is kind of the worst. In most of Fate media, Shinji is kind of the worst. Your master's life is endangered. No, Sakura's fine. There's no response from Ryder. But hearing Shinji, Saber takes a step back from Ryder. Ryder lowers her dagger. I see her mouth move. True. This is what you want, right? I hear this battlefield is special, since it's hard to reconstruct another one in the same place. I mean, yeah, that is a good point. I don't know why Shinji, right off the bat, didn't just have Medusa look at Shiro when he first reappeared. That would have been the smart thing to do. But something tells me that Shinji does not actually know that Medusa is Medusa. I don't know, I feel like that's not been revealed to him. He just knows that she's a servant. So there won't be another bounded field again. Now take your damn hands off me. He's got one hand and one leg on ya. And now that I'm thinking about it, this is like one of those weird poses that I'm currently imagining Shiro in, and I do not want to imagine that, so I'm going to drop the matter. That's not how this works. I won, so you do what I say. Shinji, get rid of your command spells. Then we'll never have to fight again. Yeah, aiming for the legs is not a bad idea either, Viper. That's ridiculous. I'm not doing that. If I get rid of my command spells, I won't be able to control Ryder. If that happens, you won't be a master anymore. Then you go to the Shurchen Shinto. I hear they protect masters, so you drop out of the war. Right, they protect masters. That's why there's the corpse of a master, probably sitting in the basement of the church already. Or is it something else? Were you lying when you said you made the bounded field to protect yourself? I actually do wonder, does anybody know if Hollow Atraxia is getting a remaster? Because I would be interested in playing that as well. I didn't say that. I just thought if I became a master and controlled a servant... He thought he could be a mage. But what's the point of becoming one? Love the story where the story went different. Results are shocking. Shinji asks about the abilities of Medusa and abducts Rin before she summons. Yeah, that would be a very interesting what if Shinji knew what the hell Medusa was capable of beforehand. He could have been a lot more dangerous opponent in the Grail War. Especially if Medusa's petrification can be done on specific limbs. Like, at that point, it could just be a matter of petrify most of Rin and try to transplant her magic crest onto him. He could try that. It'd probably result in his death, but who knows, he might actually become a mage for a brief bit of time. Cut them out. Shinji tilts his head in genuine wonderment. This isn't an act. Shinji really doesn't know what I'm talking about. Well, you see. Get back. I hear Saber's shout. Maybe it's all the training at the dojo, but my body reacts to Saber's words before my brain processes them. He's beginning to believe. Full autonomous ultra instinct. I let go of Shinji and jump back. At the moment, Ryder's dagger swings through the spot I'd been standing in a heartbeat before. Yeah, that's true. That's true, J6. But I mean, from what I remember, Shinji would do well in alchemy or any kind of magecraft that does not require mana. So that is actually a better point, though, Alice. You know, capture Rin before she summons, and then Shinji just uses Rin as essentially a permanent mana battery for Medusa. He would still run into issues with Caster and Berserker. Shiro... Actually, that would just leave Archer and Saber up in the air for being summoned. Huh. That would be curious. I do wonder how the Grail War would go in that way, because the Grail War doesn't officially start until all the servants are summoned. So without Saber and Archer coming into play, it could prolong things for a fair while, which could lead to some dark consequences for everything. Step back, Master. We are retreating. Elia would probably capture Shiro early on to make Shiro her toy. So there goes the easy way to get Saber summoned. I feel like at that point, Gil will just step in and just start slaughter and force somebody to summon the Saber, and always guaranteed to get Saber with Heavy Magic. Yeah, that's true, but again, thinking of it this way, Ilia does show up pretty early on, threatening Shiro, saying that you haven't summoned one yet. If Rin is captured, Archer is not summoned, that means that Shiro never witnesses the fight between Archer and Lancer in the middle of the school at the middle of the night. Presumably, this means that the very next day, when Ilia is keeping an eye on Shiro, Ilia just captures Shiro, so Shiro would never summon Saber, Rin would never summon Archer. It essentially would be two randos elsewhere end up summoning those two, or Media ends up summoning a Saber and a Archer. In which case, I could see Media summoning Jason, which would let her beat Heracles. Oh, is that actually a story, Alice? I didn't realize that was an actual story. Is that a fanfic, or is it official work? Shiro, please step back. Ryder intends to unleash all the magical energy she used to maintain the bounded field. What? Unleash the magical energy? I look toward Ryder. She does seem odd. The way she just appeared here when she'd been confronting Saber a second ago, the cold air emanating from her. Everything about her is suddenly far more intimidating than she has ever been. Ah, gotcha. What the hell are you thinking? You can't even be Emiya's servant, so why are you taking the reins? Correct. I'm no match for Saber. However, please be assured, my noble phantasm is greater than any other servant's. No matter the opponent, they cannot match my agility. Riders are the fastest servants. Ryder raises her dagger. Everyone gasps in surprise. For some reason, Ryder presses her dagger to her neck and slashes her own throat. Okay. I have no idea what's going on here. Red sprays everywhere. Blood gushes from the black-clad rider's pale neck. What are you? Shinji is just as surprised as the rest of us. No matter how extraordinary servants may be, a slashed throat is fatal. Ryder will bleed out and disappear on her own. No, False Assassin just has a special Noble Phantasm technique. The blood splatter stops in midair and slowly forms into a circle. A magic circle drawn in blood. It's a pattern I've never seen before. The design resembles a creature. An ominous creature. Ryder's created a giant lump of magical energy. The battlefield from earlier seems like child's play compared to this magic circle. Yeah, I know that, Alice. I have watched Heaven's Feel, so I do know about Pegasus and I can't remember the name of the NP in specific, but I didn't know it involved her slitting her throat. Being pushed back. This must be a truly massive amount of magical energy. I am being pushed back as if by a strong wind. Get away. Ryder intends to use her noble phantasm. If you don't move, you'll be caught in it. Saber grabs me and jerks me back. She faces down Ryder in her magic circle as she protects me. Do you intend to run, Ryder? If you're going to drag your master into this, I need only defeat you here. I will not allow you to use your noble phantasm. Of course not. A servant's duty is to protect her master. I'm just taking master and running. If you do not like that, come after us, Saber. Viper, as I've demonstrated, there's a lot of questionable phrasing in this so far. If, that is, you still have the will to fight after seeing this. Clearly it is more tame. A throbbing sound pulsates through the school. With the sound of rending flesh, Ryder's hair whirls around her. Okay, yeah, that is very much descriptive. Why is the sound of rending flesh going when her hair is whirling about her? Is her head about to pop off? Okay, that's pretty cool looking. Shiro, get down. Saber tugs my hand and drags me to the ground. There's a roar and then a flash. I close my eyes against the raging wind. But even with my eyes closed, I still feel its intensity. Something white streaks by. A huge bolt of light shoots down the hallway at tremendous speed. And everybody in the adjacent classrooms just got completely destroyed as well. You cannot tell me that the students that were slumped on the ground up against this wall here are not atomized. I'm sorry, look at what it did to the structural support here. The students that were on the ground right here are nothing but dust in the wind. All I see before me is a dreadful destruction. Shinji and Ryder are gone. The bolt of light wasn't after us. It was probably a means of escape. My wounds hurt. I feel a hammering in my head again. The heat flowing through my body quickly fades. I don't hear Saber's question. My vision goes blank white. No, this is black. Gosh, Shiro, are you so dumb you don't even know your colors? I'm having a dream. I'm having that dream. Maybe this is what death looks like to me. The closer I get to death, the more I keep seeing these images I don't want to see. No, Shiro, death is, winding up in your fighting dojo with Taiga and Ilya. That is what death is for you. I see motionless bodies crumbling and disappearing. That moment when everyone desperately sought help, but none came. That was painful. It was so terrible. It hurt even to live, and I thought maybe just disappearing would put me out of my misery. I never watched the Studio Dean anime, I said, for Fate Stay Night. Dazed, I reached my hand out, but not because I wanted help. I just thought the sky was so far away. That was my final thought, I think. I thought the sky was so far away. That was the dying thoughts of a child Shiro Emiya. Man, the sky's really far away. Gosh, that explains so much. If that is what he thought of as he was dying as a child, that explains so much of his current personality. Man, the sky is really far away. You know, I think people die when they're killed too. And then I lost consciousness and my outstretched hand fell to the ground. Or rather, it should have. A large hand grasps the smaller one as it falls. And this is the first time we are actually seeing Kiritsugu. He rushed into the fire to save somebody, and found me. I remember that face. I remember the tears pooling in his eyes. How overjoyed he was to have found a living human being. He looked so happy. It seemed almost like he was the one being saved, not me. And then, he actually looked envious of me, who was on the brink of death. He even looked grateful for something as he rescued the strange child. It was a turning point in my life. The weakness I showed in accepting death became a strength, a desire to live. My mind, which had practically gone blank, was full of the joy of being saved in that moment. I tried moving my fingers with what strength I had left so as to not let go of the man's hand, and then I finally passed out. The next thing I knew, I was in the hospital, and the man who saved me had come to visit. That was 10 years ago. Excuse me. From then on, all I ever did was follow in Kiritsugu's footsteps. The only thing I could think of was being like him. It's not because he saved me. I couldn't shake off the image of his face back then, and I tried to become the same thing. I've been striving for that ever since. Somewhere in the back of my mind, I dreamed I wouldn't notice. That's right. That I would one day. I held the hope, the dream that one day I too would be saved, if I could smile like Kiritsugu did back then. Okay, that's reasonable. New weapon data added. ... Okay, I'm gonna... Why is that saved? No, that's fine. I'm gonna save this here. I'm curious. First off, flowchart. That was the right decision. Okay. Calling for Saber like that was the right decision. I'm happy with that. I'm happy I chose properly there. But we got new weapon data. No. Unnamed dagger. A large nail-like weapon that Ryder uses. Its source is unknown, but it's thought to represent her inner nature. Wow, I'm so glad they gave me a notification for this. You know, so glad I got that notification. I have no idea that, how it represents her inner nature. Also, I'm curious here. Oh, have you played the Not Remaster then, Alice? That's cool. I'm curious. So even though we were told it's her noble phantasm, we get no indication of what it is. When I open my eyes, I'm in the living room. What's up, Viper? The ticking of the clock is awfully loud. It looks like I've been sleeping on the floor, and when I raise my arms, I notice the bandages wrapped tightly around both of them. It's dark out. I sit up. According to the clock, it's 10 at night. Don't just say it's dark out, like nothing happened. You ingrate. Can't you think of something better to say the moment you wake up? The way they said the name is... Yes, I know that she uses the NP in FGO, but I don't really use Ryder all that much in FGO, so cut me some slack, man. You're here. No, that's not it either. Is that the attitude you should be taking when I've been at your side, nursing you this whole time? I didn't know that. That's ungrateful of me. Sorry, my brain's a little wonky. I can't really think straight, but thanks. Guess I do owe you one. Again. Well, it was nothing. You were in pretty bad shape, so I don't blame you for being a little bit hazy. That's fair, Alice, but I almost feel like, before... Let me check, just to make sure I'm not speaking out of nothing. Assassin. Okay, I was about to say, I'm pretty sure it gave us his NP information before he used it, but it didn't, so never mind. I was about to speak out of my butt. So, does anything hurt? I think all your external injuries have healed up, but I don't know anything about internal. If there's anything wrong still, we need to treat it. No, I just feel dull. Nothing's hurting. It's just that I feel like I'm floating. I don't know how I ended up here. I don't remember what I did today. Oh, right. Tosaka. How's the school? What happened to me after that? It's okay. Don't worry about the others. Kirei went to follow up at the school. He'll handle all the repairs for the hallway and everything else, so you don't have to worry about any of that. He's a priest, so he should do that much or risk the wrath of God. You know, I do have to respect Kirei for the fact that even though he has absolutely no reason to play by the rules of the Grail War like this, he does still do, to some degree, his job. He is still doing his job to some degree. He could just say, no. He's doing that. So that means the schools... It didn't become a major crisis. A lot of students were taken to the hospital, but none of their conditions seemed to be life-threatening. They're being treated for malnutrition, and most will only have to spend 2 or 3 days at the hospital. Okay, now... Why are we just now getting this? Okay, so now we're getting this. Why did this not appear with the new weapon data? Like, what was the random decision? Okay, we're gonna wait until after we confirm that Kirei is going to clean up things at the school to let the player know that they know more about Ryder's Noble Phantasm. You know, I think that's a good time, you know, not right after it actually happens, or right after Shiro wakes up when we give him the information about Ryder's nail. We're gonna wait until after we've confirmed that Kirei is fixing a mess to give them that information. Yeah. True, it is his forced job. So Blood Fort Andromeda, Other Seal Blood Temple, Rank B Anti-Army, Range 10 to 40. 10 to 40 what? Centimeters, meters, miles, yards, kilometers. We need more than 10 to 40. Maximum target of 500 people. That's not bad. I don't know what the total population of a generic high school in Japan in the early 2000s was. A bounded field of blood. It dissolves humans that get trapped inside. The dissolved humans become red blood absorbed by the bounded field's user. Its original use is to absorb magical energy. You think? If that's its original use, then what is its alternate use, I wonder? Assume meters. 10 to 40 meters. That doesn't feel like it would cover a whole school, though. Kilometers would probably be the right thing, because 10 to 40 meters, that's not very big. That's like 120 feet. That's not even a football field length. Okay, that's a relief. Dissolving the bounded field took longer than expected, but I wasn't too late. The instant I relax, every bit of strength floods out of me. I breathe out deeply and I lean back against the wall. Does that mean Kotomene healed me too? I don't think even you would be able to heal so many wounds. What are you talking about? You healed them yourself. 10 to 40 kilometers can cover a huge portion of a city, though, depending on the size of said city. I think as the RPG, it would be 10 to 40 cells. Like 10 to 40 chunks? Okay, I could see something like that, perhaps. It was the same thing as with Berserker. The way you heal your wounds is nearly miraculous. You really don't remember. No, I don't know why myself. I was normal until I formed a contract with Saber. Is that so? Maybe you're just descended from lizards or something. Shiro's a lizard person, confirmed! How can you say something like that with a straight face? This is weird for me too, you know? It's like my body isn't my own. I think it's fine. Whatever the cause, your condition is why you survived. That's twice now. Turning you into a lizard would be fair compromise at this point. I mean, for all we know, before the whole Fuyuki fire, he could have been normal. He very well could have been normal. But we will never know. Never know. Are you enjoying teasing the critically injured guy, Tosaka? You were critically injured. Well, anyway, you should thank Saber too. I'm not sure how or why, but it's all thanks to Saber that you're like this. True, that was not Shiro Emiya. Shiro Emiya has never been normal. That is a good statement. Oh, my brain finally starts working. There's something I need to do. I needed her. I called her. So she came and she saved me. I need to tell her something right away. I stand up too quickly. Pain shoots through my body as I move, but I can't let that stop me. Where's Saber? She's in the dojo. I'm gonna go get something for my room. Tosaka heads over to the outbuilding. I mean, a lizard doesn't have to be a big lizard, though, Viper. And actually, are you not a lizard already, given that you are a Viper King? After all, snakes are just lizards with no limbs. I grit my teeth and try to endure it as I head toward the dojo. I can't shut up because then I can't read the VN. I reach the dojo. Saber is sitting Saiza style as if she's meditating. You've woken. Sitting Saiza in full armor. Good gracious, that sounds like it would be a pain. A car, a snake, a car. There is a Viper car, isn't there? That's true. Elaborate, please, Alice. What do you mean, the similarity between Artoria and Kiritsugu? Saber notices me coming in and hurries to her feet, then rushes over to me. Sorry for worrying you. I only just came to, and Saber. Do not dare sorry me now. There are many things I must say to you. You accepted an invitation from the enemy and left me. You tried to fight on your own, and you did not spare an ounce of consideration for your body. Okay, Saber. First things first. Grammar. That should have been 3 separate sentences, not one large run-on sentence. Okay? You need to mind your grammar, Saber. It is unbefitting of a king to use improper grammar. Do you understand that any one of those foolish decisions could have been fatal? You very nearly did die. Do you enjoy tormenting me like this? No, What is it? I will not be moved by any facile excuses. Facile. I've never seen that word. Hang on.
Facile.
Facile. I have never seen that word. Facile. And its definition is an effortless excuse. An easily achieved or effortless. So I will not be moved by any facile excuses you might attempt to make for yourself. I will not be moved by any effortless excuses. Effortless excuse. That's a tongue twister. Nope, you will not make me sing. I disabled that command specifically for this because trying to sing while reading off the visual novel is hell. Fate Zero, they're shown like opposites, but if you think, then it could be seen how Kiritsugu could summon Artora even without Caliburn. Vessel is easy in French. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I can see the similarities between Saber and Kiritsugu. I do see how they are quite similar. A king should not feel. Kiritsugu did not think he was worthy of feeling. Both of them are trying to save many through self-destructive things. I can see their similarities very clearly. And it's, those similarities are why they will never work well together. Today is the day I will hear precisely what is on that mind of yours. Saber comes at me with all the rage and force of a hurricane. I did not know that, again, I'm just gonna say it, that's adorable pout. If that is the pure rage and force of a hurricane, then that's adorable. Because that is an adorable pout face. I'm a dragon, Viper. A dragon. She's so intense. I'm not sure how to explain it, but I'm kind of enjoying Saber being so emotional. I know. Let me explain myself. Let's talk, Saber. As you can see, I've healed. Shiro, are you alright? Yeah, looks like it. I'm alive, for now. I see. That is a relief. Where'd that angry look from a few seconds go? Saber heaves a relieved sigh and smiles softly as if celebrating my recovery. It helps me understand that even Saber, stoic as she always is acting like this because how much I worry her. I mean, technically, yes. But I'm not a rooster, J6. I'm not a rooster. I'm saying technically yes to what Viper said. I wasn't relying on Saber, but she still accepted me as someone to fight alongside. Except for Eastern dragons, which are like feathered. You know, those aren't really lizard-like. How stupid of me. I hadn't realized the extent to which she trusted me. And I couldn't extend the most basic trust of just letting her fight. I speak up more comfortably now. I mean, very technically speaking, I could also be just a set of scales. Because my astrological sign is Libra, which I'm pretty sure are just a pair of scales. So, you know, there is that. I'm finally able to look her in the eye, and it feels natural. Yes? What is it, Shiro? Sorry. I was an idiot. I know there's feathered dragons out there, I just don't know what exactly the feathered dragons are off the top of my head. I bow my head. What? Please, lift your head, Shiro. I was only employing a figure of speech earlier. Yes, I was angry, but there is no call for you to apologize. Of course I do. I'm your partner and I owe you an apology. I'm sorry I worried you. As long as I'm with you, I'll never fight alone. Are you? Yeah, Saber. Please, lend me your strength. I can't beat the other masters on my own. I need your help. Symbolic that the guy that helped Kiritsugu to become more human was able to make Saber feel more human. You know, I never really thought of it that way, Alice. But that is a good point. Shiro was able to help Kiritsugu become more human and also helped Saber become more human. Huh. So Shiro Emiya is... I mean, it kind of is his job in life is to save people, really. If he helps restore their humanity. I feel like in a world without magic, but the Fuyuki fire still happened and Kiritsugu still adopted Shiro, Shiro Emiya would make an excellent psychiatrist. Are you admitting that you were mistaken earlier? Are you accepting that, as a master, you will devote yourself to a support role and will leave the fighting to me from now on? Well, I still don't want to see Saber hurt. That's why I forbid her from fighting. And that's where I was wrong. Ever since I decided to fight with her, I should have just put everything I had into helping her. No, I don't think I was mistaken. If you're going to protect me, I'm going to protect you. I can't let you fight alone. Saber doesn't answer. The mood in the dojo turns frosty. I just can't let this go. Crunching sound happening. That's one water bottle down. I left my head thinking I'll just have to beg until she accepts my determination. But then... You are too stubborn to change, aren't you? Saber? There's no need to respond, is there? I'm your blade. Who but I can be the one to help you, Shiro? Saber extends her left hand. I can't think of anything sensible to say, so I shake her hand. Is there any significance with shaking with the left hand compared to the right hand? I thought you tended to shake with your dominant hand. Our handshake forms something almost tangible. It's been a few days since we first met, but it feels like we finally formed a real contract. What's going on? Why are you two shaking hands? Hey, why would she show up now of all times? Not psychiatrist, but a person helping victims of crimes and catastrophes, maybe a policeman or a therapist. I think therapist would probably be for the best. Just because, I don't know, I feel if Shiro Emiya tried to become a police officer, he would get in trouble quite a bit. Saber and I quickly let go of each other's hands. Something's fishy. You two weren't hatching some kind of scheme without me, were you? No, absolutely not. I was, making sure Master's in good health before checking his pulse. I'm dumbfounded. Saber just told a bald-faced lie. But why would Saber panic about this too? Yeah, he got a weird way of checking someone's pulse. Just thought about it, Sakura goes in the same category as Saber. Yeah, that is true. Sakura also becomes more human because of Shiro. You could also argue Ilya is the same way. One could argue that Ilya becomes more human around Shiro, in Heaven's Feel at least. I don't know how / if Shiro and Ilya will have any kind of relationship in the Fate route, but at least towards Heaven's Feel, it does feel like they do have somewhat of a relationship according to the movies. So I don't know, maybe Ilya could be lumped in there as well. Tosaka regards Saber curiously. In response, Saber starts acting even more suspiciously, probably because she's not used to lying. I need to help her or this will get even more awkward. Hey, what do you want, Tosaka? Didn't you say you were getting something from your room? Wait, what are you saying, Viper? People like Rin. Rin is fine. All the Fate girls are fine. Oh yeah, here, Saber. Thank you. I thank you for your trouble, Rin. Tosaka hands Saber a bag. Saber looks surprisingly happy as she takes the bag. That's the last of it, so be careful. Force something or not, changing into your armor will shred your clothes to bits. Huh. That's news. Huh. I can see now why this might be in the Eroge category. Just for that line alone evokes a lot of thoughts. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm sorry. It was so sudden that I did not think ahead. I appreciate you bringing me more of the same clothing. Yeah, it's a simple design, so it's like a uniform. Kira keeps forcing such plain clothes on me. Not that I mind, since that outfit doesn't look very good on me, but why are you so fixated on this outfit, Saber? Well, Shiro mentioned that it looked good on me. I'm not following all this, but it seems that Saber's third set of clothes. I don't have any women's clothing around the house, so Saber's been borrowing clothes from Tosaka. But yeah, I'd really appreciate it if they had their girl talk when I'm not around. I am a guy. It had been such a nice conversation until now, too, but I really don't know what to do myself when they get talking about stuff like this. So, not much happened afterward, and both Tosaka and Saber forced me to go sleep in my room. I may have regained consciousness, but I'm still severely injured. Ryder sliced my arms up so bad that under normal circumstances I'd have to worry about whether I'd ever be able to use them again. Plus, I fell 3 stories, so I'm all broken and bruised. There's plenty I should be thinking about, but the two have agreed that the best thing for me to do right now is sleep so I can heal. ... But I let Shinji get away, and I'll need to settle things with him as quickly as possible. He didn't hesitate to activate the bounded field. Even I know how dangerous it would be to let a master like that roam free. Damn, this isn't the time for me to be sleeping. Things go blank like a dizzy spell sweeping over me. The only thing that feels normal is my head. As soon as I lay down, my half-healed body just forces me off to sleep. Man, I would love to be able to just fall asleep as soon as I close my eyes in bed. I remember being able to do that as a kid, and I miss those days so much. Tomorrow. When tomorrow comes. I don't have time to rest like this. Even if my body isn't fully healed, I need to find Shinji. Just sick Ilya on him. Yeah, we'll save the game here. I think I can overwrite this one here. Not as determined. Did I miss a bit of dialogue? Hang on, I'm gonna check the flow chart, see if there was a thing I missed. Because I do like doing that to check, make sure I'm not missing anything. No. No dialogue opportunities were missed. Honestly, this might be one of the most complete days where we only missed 3 choices. Woo! I'm having a bad dream. You're not as determined as Shiro. Fair. My body, injured as it is, demands long sleep. I mean, that's the thing though, when I am determined to fall asleep is when I can't fall asleep. But my mind is still stuck replaying all that happened today and won't let me rest peacefully. My body, still not fully healed, is burning. My mind is plagued with guilt. I think I'm crying out in my sleep. As I sleep, my dream drags on. How many victims were there? Tosaka said there were no deaths, but that might just be the official story. No way does someone come out unscathed after having their life force ripped from them. They could suffer any number of long-term physical problems in years to come, or even brain damage from lack of oxygen. Some students even had severe skin damage. Even if they heal, they'll likely have scars for the rest of their lives. My body hurts. I do wonder how Kirei is going to cover up this. Is it going to be a gas leak, like the memes say? I nearly died today. No, I did die today. A convulsion rocks my whole body. Bad luck for everyone who got sucked into this today, but you did well, Shiro. You stopped a catastrophe, and you did it by taking a wound that would normally kill you. There's nothing to feel guilty about. The pain tries to tell me to just go to sleep. No. I can't make excuses for myself. It doesn't matter. There was a disaster, and I just happened to be there, but I couldn't do anything. They're saying I saved lives, but I didn't save anyone. Not one person. If only this had just been a mistake. If only it hadn't happened, then my mind would be at peace, and I could sleep. And a big incident in Fuyuki City. It's probably just a gas leak. You know, ignore the fact that a lot of these kids are probably scarred. It's a gas leak. Maybe hypnotize the people so there was a fire would explain the skin burns and weakness. But what about the absolute devastation in a specific hallway that probably blew out one of the walls of the school? I'm pissed off. It's absurd my heart complaining like this when my body's already so weak. There won't be a miracle like that. Just wishing for a do-over because things didn't go well or were so terrible they should have never happened is pathetic. You can't take back what's already done. It's not possible and shouldn't be attempted anyway. So I can't just pretend that all that didn't happen. There's only one thing I can do. Make sure I do everything possible I can to prevent anything like that from happening again. You don't take... Can you elaborate on that, Viper? That's a bit confusing. That's enough sleep. I can worry about my body later. If I can move, I should wake up and hit the ground running. If my goal is to make sure no one is hurt, I'll need to push myself to the verge of death. That is logical, Alice. I open my eyes. I take one deep breath, filling my lungs with air. That is another impressive ability, by the way. You know, being able to just decide, okay, I'm in the middle of a dream right now. I'm waking up. I'd love to be able to do that. The frigid winter air dispels my drowsiness almost instantly. I realize it's just past 6 in the morning. Habits really are extraordinary things. My body must have at least partially recovered, since I'm waking up at my usual time. Okay. I stand up and fold up my futon blanket. The instant I undertake such a mundane task. Intense space. Okay. There it is again. I don't know if my voice overshadowed the audio clip that just played there, but it was the sound of blades grinding against each other. Again, I thought this only happened in Heaven's Feel. And that was only because Emiya's transplanted arm onto Shiro. So why is it happening in Fate Route? I'm just trying to think why. Is it because Shiro's taken a lot more of a beating in the Fate Route than in the Unlimited Blade Works, maybe? Because, I mean, Unlimited Blade Works, outside of the initial fight... Why do I keep doing that? My body is made of swords. Yeah. So is it because he realizes his reality marble in Unlimited Blade Works that he doesn't have to worry about it? Yeah, I paid attention to the whole blooming swords in his chest. That's where I first actually caught on to something was going on here. But, I don't know, it's weird. Yeah, I guess I'm not completely healed. It's only pain, though. This is far better than what I felt when Berserker tore out my stomach the other day. When that happened, my insides felt like they were slush, and the nausea was far more intense than the pain. Well, of course you were nauseous. You had to remake your stomach. I head out into the hallway. The sunlight is muted by the gloom outside. It's cloudy. Looks like it's going to rain. Saber. Saber, he's standing right in front of you walking around. Oh, Saber. You're smarter than this. Why are you asking Shiro if he's awake when he's literally standing right in front of you? Yeah, I just woke up. You're up early. You're usually asleep around now. Yeah, Saber's not typically up so long before breakfast. I do not sleep because I want to. I've mentioned this before, but I only sleep until breakfast to conserve my magical energy. I would appreciate you not suggesting that I've been merely sleeping in. I have seen Abridged. I have watched Unlimited Blade Works Abridged. Up to the current point. I don't know. I don't remember when the most recent episode was. Sleepwalking History, yeah. Well, I didn't mean it for it to sound like that. I was more asking if it was okay for you to be awake so early. Oh, were you? So you were saying you find me being an early riser odd. Saber sounds crabby. Maybe it's my imagination. Saber doesn't seem quite as reserved as usual. No, I didn't say it was strange. I was just wondering if it was okay. It's my fault you need to sleep so much, so don't you need to sleep as much as possible today too? Of course, but I am simply remaining on standby. I am sleeping in the anticipation of emergencies, so I do not think it is logical for me to sleep right now. What do you mean? It's not logical. We're not fighting anybody right now, and nobody's attacking us. Well, that is... Saber's stumbling over her words. It seems like there's something she doesn't want to say. Whatever. There's no emergency, so you should just sleep until the next time we go out. I'll call you up when breakfast's ready, so you just save your strength until then. I'm going to need your help all day today. I head to the kitchen. Please, wait, Shiro. What? Do you have something else? What did you just say you were going to do? I hold my breath, barely realizing I'm doing it. She asked me something, but her eyes are preventing me from giving an answer. You should be resting. Rain will prepare breakfast. Your priority is recuperating in your room and letting your body heal. If you do not understand this, then I will not hear you answer your answer to my question. I kind of think that she needs to stick up her ass in order to deal with Shiro Emiya. Because Shiro Emiya is dense as hell. Sarah's being so stern because she's genuinely concerned about me. Please return to your room, Shiro. You are the one who should be sleeping, not me. Saber sees right through me and glares at me all the more intensely. But still, I can't let Shinji let loot. Hang on. I can't let Shinji let loose. That sentence does not make sense. It should have been something like, I can't let Shinji run loose. That would have made more sense. No, I'm not going back to my room. I've rested enough, and there are things I need to do. Once we're ready, let's head out to town, Saber. We're going to catch Shinji. Today. Why? There's no particular reason we need to capture Rider's Master today. If we are to fight, we should do it after your wounds have healed. It will not be too late. You got it wrong, Saber. If we're setting priorities, my body's at the bottom of the list. We don't have the luxury of waiting. You know exactly what Shinji is willing to do. We need to separate him from Rider before they make another bounded field. He won't be a threat if he doesn't have a servant. So, are you saying you do not want more victims, like yesterday? Is that why you're doing this? Not to defeat Rider's Master? That's not true. I'm going to hold Shinji accountable. To do that, we need to defeat Rider. He's weak, he has a broken arm. Yeah, all true points. And the fact that Medusa used most of the gathered magical energy to escape means that Medusa is at her weakest right now. I mean, Rider. Sorry, spoilers there. Rider is at her weakest right now. So, that is another excellent point. But, you know, it just occurred to me, this is a divergence from Unlimited Blade Works, because I know in Unlimited Blade Works, Medusa dies in that assault. And it's the right thing to do, to prevent more victims. That's the most important reason we have to fight. I see. If that is Master's command, I will obey. She dies from I could have sworn Medusa dies from... I just could have sworn Medusa dies to Saber in the school. Huh. I guess it has been a while since I watched Unlimited Blade Works. Fine, Shinji. Well, I don't really have a problem with that, but you're saying this because you think you have a chance at winning, right? It's after breakfast. That's Tosaka's immediate response when I say we can't just let Shinji remain on the run. You're asking about my chances of beating Shinji. That's right. I'll be honest here, if you're planning on going up against a master without a hope of winning, I'm going to die laughing. Oh! Okay, now my memories... I'm remembering now. It's like I'm having vague remembrances of the anime, and it's... They, like, see Medusa's body twisted like a pretzel or something. Like, her limbs are all shown twisted around or something like that before she properly disappears. That's right. I remember now. My memory is being jogged. Crap. Now that she mentions it, I've really only thought about stopping Shinji. I haven't given much thought into the details. Or any. Man, it's so interesting how I've got J6 here, who hates Saber, and Viper, who hates Rin. Both of them watching the Fate route, where it seems Saber and Rin have prevalent roles. It's very interesting. Emiya, are you serious? Sorry. Laugh all you want. Oh, wow. Sorry, that's really not funny. You don't hate Sakura, that just for fact? Good to know, Alice, good to know. Out of curiosity, who, out of all the servants in all of the Type Moonverse, is your favorite servant? So this is background white noise while you work on math. What kind of math? That reaction just makes it clear how stupid I'm being. I want to curl up into a little ball and hide. Saber, your master's talking nonsense. So what do you think? Do you have a problem with fighting Ryder? I have no qualms about fighting Ryder. I've already assessed her strength. And I believe Shiro has also gauged her abilities. He confronted her directly as well. Excuse me. Describe what you mean by linear algebra. Like, give me an example of a question that you have to solve, so I can see if I recognize it. Oh, really? So Shiro knows how strong she is, too. Tosaka looks my way, her eyes curious. Your favorite is a stealth bow, huh, Viper? Interesting. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the stealth bow. Mash is my favorite herself. Love me my Mash. Write a and a to the power of -1 as a product of elementary matrices. A and a to the power of -1 as a product of elementary matrices. I honestly... I'm trying to think of exactly how that is. It's been a while since I've seen that kind of math. I would actually need to see it in a book or something, personally. Just because, I don't remember ever hearing anything about linear algebra myself. True, I do have something of an assessment. Maybe it's because I've formed a contract with the servant, or maybe it's the power of the command spells. She may not be my servant, but I have some understanding of her abilities since I've seen her fight. Ryder wasn't an especially strong servant. Ryder isn't as strong as Saber. If they fight one-on-one, I don't see Saber losing. You don't have favorites in stories. More important, less important, yes. More likable, yes. Likable, yes. But more favorite than less favorite characters. Okay, that's fair. That is fair, but how about outside of the stories in general? Your favorite servant, J6? Is it not Shiki? Oh, I say, is it not Shiki, as you say, by the way, it's not Shiki. So I guess I'm already wrong. Shinji's not a mage, so Ryder can't get support from her master, so it'll come down to a duel between Saber and Ryder. Tosaka's right. As long as Shinji's a master, Ryder has to fight on her own. Saber shouldn't be at a disadvantage, but... Why the long face? There a problem? Yeah. Listen, Tosaka. Even though Saber had Ryder cornered, and Saber is way superior in combat, Ryder managed to escape with Shinji. I love how they put the emphasis on way. Like, is way superior in combat. I love the emphasis there. Though I cannot see Shiro Emiya saying, way. I think it was Ryder's noble phantasm. The arrow of light that tore through the hallway. If Saber hadn't shoved me to the ground, that wave of destruction would have completely annihilated me. If that was Ryder's ace in the hole, we shouldn't take her lightly, even if she is weaker. So that means Ryder is one of those types whose noble phantasm is more powerful than the servant itself. So, Saber, Shiro aside, you must have been able to tell what Ryder's noble phantasm was, right? You should have some idea since it was deployed in front of you. I must apologize. I was so intent on protecting Shiro, I was unable to determine what it was. Had I taken the time to do so, Shiro and I would have been caught up in it. It all depends on the story. In some, Medio be a monster, and others a great hero. Okay, I get what you're saying now, Alice. I get what you're saying. It very much depends on which story... Okay, I get you now. I understand. Caught up in it. Is Ryder's noble phantasm a projectile? It certainly seems similar to one. It can likely be classified as something closer to your magecraft that was not an anti-personnel noble phantasm like my sword or lancer's spear. It's close to my magecraft. That doesn't sound right. Your magic resistance is god tier. Modern magecraft just can't hurt you. If there was magecraft you actually needed to avoid, it would be... Yes. Mystics would have to be nullified with even stronger mystics. The only type of mystics that can penetrate my armor would be what you call true magic or phantasmals of the divine realm. True magic. Are you trying to say that Ryder is a mage? No, I did not feel that much magical energy from her. She's a Ryder. If there is a true magician around, it would only be Caster. Ryder's noble phantasm is likely something different. Saber's answer gets a sigh of relief from Tosaka. Pull the stealth card. I like everything I don't hate, and I hate everything I don't like, but with extra steps. I like everything I don't hate, and I hate everything I don't like, but with extra steps. Maybe. I don't quite get what's going on, though. Is your armor that strong? You said only true magic can penetrate it. Does that mean Lancer's Gay Bolg is true magic? No, he has a conceptual weapon. Yes, you're right. Lancer's Gay Bolg is a curse, close in power to true magic. Ren, would you care to explain this to Shiro? Me? Oh, fine. Let's just cut to the chase. You believe Saber can only be injured by true magic, right? Oh, that's not what I'm saying. But I just thought it was amazing that her armor's that strong. Of course it's amazing. All servants are heroic spirits. Not just Saber, you know. They're spirits, so they can't be harmed by ordinary means, since servants themselves are mystics. Only fellow servants, since they're also heroic spirits, can physically harm other servants. Wise. On the flip side, so long as we're dealing with a servant, they could wound Saber even if they grabbed something like a paper cutter. So what you're saying is that Saber's armor isn't invulnerable when she's dealing with another servant. Yep. But Saber is skilled at close combat, so there's no way she'd be wounded in hand-to-hand combat. The only other method would be to attack her from a long distance, like with the magecraft projectile. But Saber has, despite being a knight, a remarkable magic resistance, so she can deflect most magecraft. Musashi is your favorite. Okay, J6, I can get it. Curses, the epitome of bad luck. Can't touch her, while more direct intervention, like firing magic energy at her like arrows, also won't work. If someone wants to defeat Saber, they'll have to fight head-on and beat her that way. Saber listens silently to Tosaka's explanation. Saber never interrupts her, probably because everything Tosaka is saying is true. What the hell? That's like cheating. Someone would try to go up against Saber with Magecraft because they can't beat her in single combat, but if Magecraft itself is useless against her, what can they do? That sounds unfair. That may be true, but it doesn't mean Saber is unbeatable in hand-to-hand combat. Berserker is much stronger than Saber, and even Lancer has a spear, which can be fatal. I love how Saber is getting ticked off back there. Just love it. And we were just talking about Ryder having a noble phantasm that could beat even Saber, so we're not saying Saber is perfect. Even we have ways to defeat Saber. We just need to use Magecraft that exceeds Saber's magic resistance, or borrow a weapon wielded by a servant to cut off her head while she's sleeping. Servant weapons are spiritual too, so they should be able to hurt her. It's an alarming example, but I get it. I feel like even that wouldn't work because Saber has instinct, and I feel like she would know that you're about to cut off her head. Wait, but hold on. Tosaka, you probably shouldn't be talking about things like this in front of Saber. I see. So it's not that Ryder's noble phantasm was exceptional, Saber just went on the defensive because it was a servant that was attacking. You got it wrong. If Saber was focusing on defending, Ryder wouldn't be able to finish her off alone. If Ryder isn't a particularly exceptional heroic spirit, it wouldn't amount to much, even with her noble phantasm in the mix. Do you agree, Saber? You think Ryder's noble phantasm is unrelated to her abilities, right? Most likely, yes. I believe it was an autonomous weapon that does not rely on Ryder's skill, and that it has an effect on the noble phantasm itself. It is either Magecraft or Phantasmal. Whatever it is, the intensity of the magic circle was overwhelming. I do not think many servants could survive a direct strike. Really? By how much quantifiably? If I were to describe it in your terms, I would rank it as perhaps A+. This is a matter of opinion, though, as I'm not certain. That's one step below true magic. I can't believe I didn't just blow up the entire school to bits. It must not be a purely destructive noble phantasm. It may have originally served a different purpose. Maybe, but this is a problem. According to Saber, it's beyond an A rank. In terms of raw power, that attack might be one of the strongest out of all the servants. It's not bad, actually. Yes, it did seem like it was a noble phantasm that exceeds both in offense and defense. However, my noble phantasm is more. Saber's face is indecipherable. I don't know what just happened. Saber doesn't look amused. Did Tosaka say something that worries you? No, it's nothing, but I do believe it's inappropriate for a knight to ask another for their opinion of who is stronger. Huh? She's acting strange. Saber seems embarrassed by her own actions and then starts to mutter under her breath. Whatever. By the way, I thought you said something weird. Something about Saber and Lancer being anti-personnel or something. Do you mean an anti-personnel noble phantasm? Well, it is what the word suggests. My invisible air and Lancer's gay bulg are armaments that are strictly used to defeat people. No matter how powerful the magical energy or curse it may possess, it cannot be used against something else. I guess that just makes sense. Wrong! Saber, you use invisible air to deflect projectiles all the time. Saber's invisible sword is definitely useful in battle, but that was only effective against people. Another point, when you were releasing invisible air, you literally caused a typhoon. That is not a singular 1v1 combat thing. You know, if you're unleashing a typhoon to deal with a single person, then you have some messed up notions of what a personnel-to-personnel combat is. If you chopped up firewood with Saber's sword, whether you could see the blade or not, it's not going to affect how quickly you can chop the wood. I would beg to differ. It's the same with Lancer's Gay Bulk. Even a cursed spear that always strikes the heart is just a sharp spear if you use it against a boulder or a house. I see. So that's why it's called an anti-personnel noble phantasm. Which means Rider noble phantasm is... It would be an anti-army noble phantasm. Actually, I heard from Father about this once. Certain noble phantasms are designated anti-personnel and others as anti-army. Well, there's also anti-fortress, anti-planetary... A simple way to understand it is this. An anti-personnel noble phantasm is like a gun with unlimited ammo, but an anti-army noble phantasm is like a missile that can only be launched once. Rider's noble phantasm may be powerful, but it probably has limited uses. At the very least, it doesn't generate a continuous effect like Saber's sword being invisible. Anti-fortress, anti-world. What? Hold on a minute. A gun versus a missile? There's no contest. Sure, Saber's invisible sword is awesome, but if she goes up against a ridiculous noble phantasm like that, she'll be dead before she can even swing her sword. So you're saying that if we're going to fight Rider, we need to defeat her before she deploys her noble phantasm. Yeah, anti-world. That's what Enuma Elish is. Most likely, you've got no chance it becomes a battle of noble phantasms. If you're going to find Rider and Shinji, you should at least keep that in mind. The biggest requirement is for you to defeat Rider before she deploys her noble phantasm. The longer you draw out the fight, the more of a disadvantage you'll be at. Or you can defeat Rider's master while I battle Rider. He's not able to fight, so that might be the better plan. So that's what we've come up with. Since we have no strategy to deal with Rider's noble phantasm, we just need to defeat Rider before she uses it. Whatever noble phantasm other servants have, we still don't have a way to deal with Riders. Thanks for the warning, Tosaka. Who even has that shit? Matter of fact, bigger question is why. Technically, I want to say Karna's NP is anti-world as well. We're going to find Shinji, but what do you want to do, Tosaka? Will you stay and watch the house? Well, if you insisted, we would have come with you to look for Shinji, but I'll pass. Rider isn't the only enemy. We can't forget that we teamed up initially to beat Berserker. So, while you're out pursuing Shinji, I have something else to do. Is it really only anti-army? Also, error here in the game. They ended the quotation marks after the very first sentence, but they continued with Rin speaking here. That quotation mark at the end of pass should not be in there. Or there should have been more dialogue to break it up, and then there should have been another quotation mark before the word Rider. So, for shame, translators, for shame. That is a grammatical error. Tosaka stands up with a frosty smile. See you. I look forward to hearing some good news. That's what I was talking about, Vasavi Shakti. I thought that was anti-world. Saber and I head out together, leaving Tosaka at home. It's 7:30 in the morning. The hilly road is extremely quiet. The road is usually packed with students going to school, but there aren't that many people around today. I heard the school will be closed for a while. There may have not been any deaths, but a majority of the students are still bedbound. Their symptoms are like severe malnutrition, so it should be a few days before they're up and around. But those aren't the lucky ones. There are still some whose injuries will last a lifetime. I hear Taiga was among those sent to the hospital. Do you need to go visit her, Shiro? Yeah. I hear Fujini is just fatigued. I was told to not worry about her and to just study at home. Okay, who told you this, Shiro? We were not informed of this. We are seeing your life pretty much in its entirety right now. Who informed you that Taiga is just fatigued and to not worry about her? When did this come up? Well, I guess I deserve that. Before we left, I phoned the Fujimura house and asked how Fujini was doing. I want to go visit, but I need to hold off for now. Well, I've got egg on my face. So you are going to concentrate on investigating. That's fine, but do you have any leads? I can sense the presence of servants, but only when they are nearby. Unless you have a lead of some kind, it will be difficult to locate them. Yeah, it'd be hard if Shinji were just sitting around doing nothing, but I know him, and I don't see him just keeping quiet after what happened yesterday. Shinji's not the type to just sit back and take a beating. So you believe Rider's master plans to create another bounded field? No doubt about it. He's like me, he can't provide a servant with magical energy. If Shinji wants to get revenge on me, he'll need a lot of magical energy. Which means it might not be so hard to find him. So rather than looking for Rider's master, we're going to look for a bounded field. Yeah, we may not be able to detect the master, but we should be able to detect a bounded field of that scale, and we'll be able to pinpoint the site too. We just need to find a big building that draws a large crowd. This is a surprise. That is brilliant, Shiro. Honestly, that is surprisingly smart of Shiro. I do have a brain, you know. If I wasn't so confident about finding them, I wouldn't be saying this. Yeah, I'm confident. The bounded field is one thing, but there's a point of us walking around like this too. Shinji probably can't leave me alone any more than I can leave him alone. I head to Shinji's house just in case. I have Saber checked for Rider's presence. She finds nothing. Well, Shinji's not just the sort to roll over and hide in his house after what happened. Let's go. If Shinji's going to create a bounded field, it wouldn't be here. It'll be in Shinto. Let's check all the office buildings there. I call Saber over and turn to leave the Mateo house. Shiro, this is Sakura's house, is it not? Since you're here, do you not at least intend to say hello? I believe we have time enough for that. I am worried about Sakura. According to Tosaka, Sakura was just weakened and luckily wasn't injured beyond that. If it weren't up to me, I'd like to see her and take care of her the way she's always taken care of me. I think Shiro is oftentimes more brain dead than most people, so let him have this, Viper. Let him have this. But I won't do it. As long as the war is going on, I shouldn't see her. I don't want to get her involved in any of this. Besides, I can't possibly face Sakura when I'm about to head out to fight her brother. Should the worst happen and I actually kill Shinji, I'll never be able to face her again, even though she would absolutely love you for killing Shinji, I'm sure. I shouldn't leave any loose ends like that. It's best for me, and I'm sure it's best for Sakura too. There he goes again, Shiro Emiya assuming what is best for someone else. We check every building we find. Of course we start with the big ones, but so far, nothing. I'll wipe the sweat from my brow and force my leaden limbs to keep moving. I try to calm my labored breathing by just taking a moment to rest. Oh, Shiro, is there something with the map? This way. Hold it, this is the park. There's still buildings we haven't looked. Please, let that matter wait a moment. This is more important. Something must have caught her attention. Saber's tone is stern, and she pulls me toward the park. What's going on? Why are we here? There's nothing here. Even you know that. Please, just sit on this bench. I will hear what you have to say once you have done so. Saber is intense about this, so I reluctantly sit down. And then, for a moment, I almost feel faint. I hold my head with one hand. My forehead is damp with sweat, and my breathing is labored even though I'm sitting down. Hey, wait a minute. Why would I be sweating like this in the dead of winter? This is weird. I don't know why I'm so exhausted. As soon as I say that, I realize what's going on. I'm not exhausted. My wounds haven't completely healed, so they're tingling. This is unreal. No matter how hard I try, I can't get my breathing under control. My body feels heavy and my legs refuse to take my weight. I see you finally realized your condition, Shiro. Saber's mad. I don't blame her. I was the one who suggested searching for Shinji, but here I am sitting on a bench. Sorry, I'll get up soon. Just give me a moment. That's not what I'm trying to point out. Nothing seems to get through to you. Huh? I can see Saber's mad. See, Shiro's brain dead. What I don't understand is why. Saber, you need to be clearer with me, or else I won't know what you're trying to get at. If you do not know, there's no point telling you. Please just sit here, Shiro. If you'll not rest on your own, then I shall join you. Saber sits right next to me. The bench is not that big. Saber's sitting close enough to me that our shoulders might touch if one of us leans over even a little. Shoulders touching? How scandalous. Hey, wait, Saber. We don't have time to rest. We didn't come here to play around. We are indeed not here to simply loiter. Even in battle, you must rest. If you have a grievance, I suggest you air it after you've caught your breath. Well, you tell me to catch my breath, but... Sure, I'm totally worn out, and I can barely breathe, but having her so close makes my heart go absolutely crazy, and... Are you listening to me? You've been pushing yourself this whole time. What you must now do is try to loosen up and calm down. You cannot rest properly if you continue on, distracted as you are. Yeah, but... If she wants me to be calm, it'd really help if she kept her distance. I don't know how Saber feels, but I can't help but see her as a girl around my own age. Well, she may actually be younger, but she's still a girl. Shiro! Guess what's back? Back again. Also, it's kind of ironic that, Shiro is really bad with ages. And plus, she's beyond beautiful. No guy could stay calm this close to her, and I'm certainly no exception. J6 could. Is it my imagination, or are you even paler than before? I know, I'm not flustered or anything. If you say so, but perhaps you should lie down. Is there a place to lie down around here? Saber looks around. Oh, what the... What are the odds of there just being some random dude laying across a nearby bench using his girlfriend as a lap pillow in a park that's usually deserted? And... Saber glances at the pair of lovebirds. She's obviously thinking, if you do not feel well, then you should lie. I'm fine, I just need to sit for a minute and I'll get better. Don't worry about me. Nope, no worrying about me. Just leave me alone. See, J6 wouldn't be able to just sit by her, no problem. I turn away from Saber and close my eyes, anything to keep our eyes from locking. Jeez, Shiro, it's like you don't want a girlfriend. Think calming thoughts, Shiro. Now I just have to keep taking deep breaths and try not to think about Saber being right next to me. It took a night for the fire to die down. The searing, roaring red wall eventually disappeared. All that remained was a charred field, strewn with smoldering, blackened lumber. I remember that while I lay there on the ground, the sound of it reminding me of sparklers. Sparklers are fun. The sky was getting cloudy. It should rain soon. That will put out the fires. I could hardly even breathe as I lay there, staring dazedly at the sky. Charred remains hemmed me in on all sides. Burns cover my entire body, and there's an especially painful sensation around my chest. My chest is gouged out. I could probably touch my own insides. Oh yeah, I'd forgotten about that. I didn't collapse because I got tired. It's not that my numb body was trying to do me a favor by letting me rest. I collapsed because I was much too hurt to keep moving. At all. That's why I ended up just accepting it calmly, with no panic. I knew I wasn't going to make it. Everyone else was already dead anyway, so I wasn't scared. Staring up the cloudy sky, I felt myself sort of just fading away. Yet, in the haze of finding consciousness, I decided that as long as I was alive, I'd try calling for help. Right till the end. No, Shiro, you've already said once that you instead contemplated the fact that the sky was so far away. Wait, something's off. I shouldn't be remembering this pain in my chest. I jerked myself upright and took my shirt open to check myself. Yeah, I figured as much. There's no wound. There's no scar on my chest. The respiratory distress that burn caused did almost kill me, but I didn't take some massive chest wound. If something like that happened, even Kiritsugu wouldn't have been able to help me. But more importantly, it's already night. Did I fall asleep, Saber? Yes, you slept deeply, so I did not wish to wake you. It seems to help, though. You've regained some of your color. That's not very nice. Sure, it might have been my fault for passing out, but you could have woken me up. I told you we don't have time to rest. But you must rest, and you did so only for about an hour, so it should not be a problem. Only an hour? They were searching for a long time. That's just the benefit of hindsight. What would you have done if I hadn't woken up? Well, I do not believe our situation would have changed that much, actually. I've just been about to wake you since the sun is setting and it's growing cold. The sun is set! I do admit, I feel a lot better. I get up from the bench and start walking through the field. There's no trace of what this field once looked like. No trace of when it used to be a residential district, nor any trace of when it was cast in that hellish red light. But for some reason, I'm irritated that I dreamed that scene just because I slept here. Is something wrong? I was just thinking that if I was going to rest, it should have been somewhere else. Too many bad memories here. I mean, to be fair, I think this did take place before cell phones were commonly out and about, so there is no way for Shiro to truly know how much time passed. Bad memories. Do you have some link to this place? Alright, I never told you. I used to live around here a long time ago. 10 years ago, actually. There was a giant fire. It burned down my house with my parents inside. That's when my old man saved me. Later, he adopted me. What? So that means you... Yeah, I'm not Kiritsugu's biological child. And I guess I'm not without ties to the Holy Grail War either. I heard that this place was the final battleground during the last war. It's kind of ironic to think the survivor of this site turned into a master. I walk through the field. It's been 10 years, but it still seems like the ground hasn't recovered enough for even grass to grow. I can see the grass on the ground, though. Maybe all the resentment of the people who died here seeped into the land itself. Is this why you're so adamant on not allowing innocents to be harmed? As a victim of the Holy Grail War yourself, you're hoping to avoid creating any other such victims. Well... Now that she mentioned it, I guess I can see people coming to that conclusion. Surprisingly, I've never thought about it like that. I'm not sure. You have a good point, but I think it's something simpler than that. 10 years ago, I was so happy when Kiritsugu saved me. I didn't feel anything else at that time, and I think I just aspired to be like him one day, too. Yeah, I was just happy. Words can't even begin to describe what I felt when I called out for help, and actually got it. But at the same time, the happier I was, the more guilty I felt. You know, actually, Shiro Emiya should be a firefighter. Pulling people out of fires, saving their lives, saving the lives of those who are trapped in fire and crying out for help, that would be Shiro Emiya's ideal calling. It didn't feel right, though, knowing my wish was the only one to be granted. My old man saved me, but no one else was saved, and they couldn't do anything about it. Everyone wished for salvation, but only my wish was granted. Only I was saved. And in exchange, everyone else died. And that's why I have to take responsibility. But I can't take back something that's already happened. If I want to do something for the people who died, I should focus on preventing what's to come. I will not allow another catastrophe like the one 10 years ago. If something like that ever happened again, I'd never be able to face the people who got sacrificed that time. At least that's how I see it. More importantly, we need to get back to looking for Shinji. I feel better now, and we need to hurry up and check the buildings we haven't gotten to yet. Besides, there should be fewer people around at night. If Shinji wants to attack us, this will be the time. So if our plan is to lure him out, it's time to get to it. Let's go, Saber. Let's get back to the office district. What's wrong? Did you forget something? Saber's realizing the consequences of her actions. No, I was just recalling what happened this morning. I suggested you focus on healing your wounds before going out looking for Rider's Master, but you told me our priorities were mixed up. You mentioned the same thing yesterday. I believed this for some time, but now I am certain. You do not value your own life. It's like she just stares at me and lays it out like it's a sin or something. You put others ahead of yourself. Admirable though it may be, you will one day regret doing so. You should value yourself more, Shiro. Saber cuts past me. Let us go. Being here is clearly not good for you. Saber heads towards the office district. I try to call out to her, but I can't stop her. What? Are you saying that's what I want to ask her, but the words just won't come? There's no way I'm not trying to help myself. That can't be true, but I somehow can't think of a single thing to say to argue with her. We make our way through the town after dark. I do think I am going to be calling it soon here, because I have been going for almost 2.5 hours. Probably at the next choice, as long as it happens soon. Or at the end of this day, if there is no choices today. We make our way through the town after dark. It's a little past 8. The station is at its most crowded hour, and Saber and I stare at the map of the town. We have checked most of the main buildings around this area. Is there anywhere else we can go? Let's see, there's a factory a little further out from here. We should probably go check it out, since people gather there. Not that factories are exactly Shinji style. We do make conversation now, but it's still hard for me to look Saber in the eye. I think our conversation from earlier is still stuck in my head. Saber's acting like it didn't happen, which bothers me even more. What about you, Saber? Can you sense Ryder's presence? No, I cannot. I fought her once, so I should be able to sense her. Uh-oh. An odd feeling prickles my skin. Even I can feel the wave of magical energy that washes over us. There's no way Saber can't. I do not believe I need to tell you, but... I know. Are they close, Saber? No, they're not close enough, but we are most definitely being watched. This wave of magical energy is likely an attempt to provoke us. If we're being watched, that means they've fallen into our trap. Releasing so much magical energy is an obvious attempt to lure us out. So is this Ryder. My mind changes gears. The awkwardness between Saber and me earlier disappears. I will track the source of magical energy. Please be careful, Master. I nod. The wave of bloodlust I feel stinging at my skin is coming from the direction of the office district as it slowly empties of people. Today, of all days, maybe there'll be nobody working overtime. Most of the lights in the windows of the building, seen as the heart of Shinto, are dark. There aren't many people on the sidewalks, and we have plenty clear view of the building. I don't see anyone suspicious. If Shinji's anywhere, he'll be up ahead. Maybe in the park we just left. I feel the bloodlust growing more intense. The enemies nearby, or more like... Chill runs up my spine. If even I can feel this aura of bloodlust, we're probably already in the enemy territory. Be careful, something's not right. You're correct. I do not believe they would attack us with so many others present, but it is difficult to be certain with this foe. It is best to be cautious. We both nod in silent agreement and make our way toward the park. It's probably best to ignore the oppressive sense of a knife being pressed to my throat. Shinji and Ryder are nowhere around the office district. If they're going to attack, it's probably somewhere in the park, where there won't be anyone else around. I turn towards Saber. She rushes toward me like a bolt of lightning, and blocks a blow aimed straight at my head. I look up. A massive building towers overhead. Clinging to the side of that tall building like some kind of spider is Ryder. Her hair is long enough to cover her entire body, her limbs supple and white. The masked woman is indeed our enemy, Ryder. She licks her lips as she stares down at me. Wait, not today, J6. I do promise that this coming Wednesday I will be streaming Pokemon Violet, and I will take the shiny then, but today, no, because my Switch is kind of dead. The hairs on the back of my neck stand on end. There's no mistaking it. She came spiraling down from the top of the building, aiming to take my head in a sneak attack from our blind spot. Maybe. Saber lands on the ground. In the time it took for her to rush into block Ryder's attack, Saber summoned her armor. I will go after her. Please stay here, Shiro. Go after her? How? Saber kicks off from the ground. She disappears into the sky with a glint of silvery armor. Ryder, clinging to the side of the building like that is absurd enough, but Saber leaping skyward in pursuit of her is just outright ridiculous. No, they're servants. Normal logic doesn't apply here. Like Ryder, Saber moves along the side of the building, striking at her with dizzying speed. The two shadows clash and cross against each other. The sight of the two of them fighting overhead, darting above the building as they climb into the air is like watching two fighter jets. All the while, I will be calling the stream here. Alright, we are going to save here. I'm going to check the flowchart to make sure I did not miss anything. I did not miss anything, and yeah, this will be where we save. We will be coming back next Friday for more Fate Stay Night Remaster with the second major fight of the Fate route. Once again, against Ryder. But that is for the future. For now, I've been Soulrack Dragon. I hope you've enjoyed today's stream. If you have, leave me some feedback in whichever way you so see fit. If you want to check out more by me, be sure to check out my channel here on Twitch or YouTube. Same name, same games. There's plenty of content for all to enjoy. Once again, thank you all so much for coming out. I hope you all enjoyed and have a fantastic evening, everybody.